There is a bird outside your window right now that knows exactly who you are, not your species. You, your face. If you have ever chased one off, thrown something at one, or even just glared at it the wrong way, there is a good chance it remembers. And it did not keep that to itself. It told the others. This sounds like something a person makes up. It is not. Scientists put on masks, walked into a park, and proved it. Crows recognized a single human face, held a grudge against it for years, and passed that grudge to birds that were never even there. The animal we treat as a noisy nuisance on a telephone wire is quietly running one of the most powerful memory systems in the natural world. And a piece of that memory might have your face in it. This is entry number 3 in the Untamed Index. Let's open the file on the crow. To test whether a crow could really recognize a human face, a team of researchers in Seattle came up with a clever trick. If they used their own faces, the crows would just learn those specific people. So they used masks. The researchers put on a particular rubber mask, a caveman face, and then did something crows hate. They caught several wild crows, briefly handled them to tag them, and let them go. Harmless, but from the crow's point of view, deeply threatening. The crows now associated one face, the caveman mask, with danger. Then the scientists waited, and started walking through the area wearing that same mask. The crows went off. They scolded, they dive-bombed. They raised the alarm every time the caveman face appeared. And here's the control that makes it airtight. When researchers walked the exact same route wearing a different mask, a neutral one, the crows mostly ignored them. It was not people in general the birds hated. It was that one face. The crows had done something we assume only humans and a few other animals can do. They had locked onto a single individual human face and filed it under threat. If the story stopped there, it would already be impressive. It does not stop there. It gets stranger in 2 directions. And this is the part that should genuinely amaze you. The first direction is time. The researchers kept wearing that caveman mask on and off for years. The crows did not forget. They kept scolding the dangerous face long after the original event, with the anger holding strong for at least 5 years. A grudge, carried by a wild bird for half a decade. The second direction is even bigger. The number of crows that mobbed the caveman face grew over time. It spread to birds that had never been caught, that were never there on the day of the tagging. Young crows learned the dangerous face from their parents. Other adults learned it just by watching their neighbors react. One bird's bad experience became the whole flock's shared knowledge. Stop and think about what that means. A crow can learn who is dangerous without ever being harmed itself, simply by watching another crow's reaction. That is cultural memory. Information about a specific enemy, passed from bird to bird and from parent to chick, outliving the moment it started. We usually reserve words like that for ourselves, and the same memory runs the other way. Crows also remember who is kind. People who feed them regularly get recognized too, greeted instead of scolded. There are well-documented cases of crows bringing small objects, shiny bits, buttons, scraps of metal, to people who fed them day after day. Whether you call it a gift or not, the pattern is clear. The bird remembers your face, and it remembers how you treated it. So how does a brain the size of a walnut pull this off? This is where the fear, or the dismissal, really falls apart. A crow's brain is small in grams, but extraordinarily dense. Bird brains pack neurons together far more tightly than mammal brains do, so a crow carries a number of forebrain neurons in the same range as some monkeys. It is not the size of the brain that matters. It is how much is crammed inside, and crows are crammed. That hardware does real work. Crows and their relatives, the corvids, use tools, solve multi-step puzzles, plan for the future, and appear to recognize themselves. Some can complete tasks that human children cannot manage until around the age of 7. When it comes to your face, the crow is using the same kind of specialized face processing that you use to recognize a friend across a room, and researchers have watched the memory and decision-making parts of the crow brain light up when it sees a threatening person. There is one more behavior that ties it all together, and it is haunting. When a crow dies, other crows will gather around the body. They call, they crowd in, they pay attention. People call it a crow funeral. Researchers who studied it found the crows were not mourning in a human way. They were learning. A dead crow means danger here, and the birds were studying the scene and the people near it to remember the threat. Even in death, one crow is teaching the others what to watch out for. So let's close the file. Can a crow really tell one human from another? Yes. Proven with masks, controls, and years of follow-up. It sees your face, not just a person. Does it hold a grudge? Yes, for at least 5 years, and it teaches that grudge to birds that never met you. Is it just a dumb bird on a wire? The opposite. It is running memory, learning, and social teaching on a brain that punches so far above its weight it rivals a primate. The crow is the perfect untamed index creature, but it flips our usual lesson. Most of the time on this channel, we find that a scary-looking animal is harmless. The crow is the reverse. A plain, ordinary bird we barely notice is doing something quietly extraordinary right over our heads. We looked at it 1,000 times and saw nothing. It looked back, once, and remembered everything. So the next time a crow watches you from a fence, understand what is happening. You are not looking at background noise. You are being filed. And how you act in the next few seconds is going into a memory that could outlast the next 5 years and spread to every crow on your street. Be kind to the ones outside your window. They are keeping notes. That was entry number 3 in the Untamed Index. Every week we open a new file on a creature you think you already understand and find out you don't. Next entry, we go back into your garden to an insect you have almost certainly swatted without a second thought. Everyone treats the wasp as nothing but a stinging pest. But take the wasps out of your yard, and something you love starts to fall apart. Next time, we open the file on the most hated insect that your garden cannot live without. Subscribe and build the index with us.